How about it? From the back to the front, Ross Chastain wins the Coca-Cola 600. Just talking about Ross Chastain, and there he is, a damaged #1.
So I'll be really interested to see what happens.
What if the car that won the race wasn't even ready the day before? What if the driver crashed and had to start all the way in the back? And then, what if he came back to win it all? This is the wild story of how Ross Chastain did something no one thought was possible. Ross Chastain didn't just win the Coca-Cola 600, he redefined what it means to stage a comeback in NASCAR. Just 24 hours before the race, he wrecked in practice. His car was totaled, his team scrambled to prepare a backup that wasn't even meant for Charlotte, and somehow he went from dead last on the grid to the top of the podium. What followed wasn't just a race win, it was a testament to grit, teamwork, and raw determination. A nightmare start to the weekend. Saturday's practice was supposed to be routine. Chastain had speed and confidence, but late in the session, disaster struck. A right front tire failure sent his number, one Chevrolet into the wall. Hard, the impact destroyed the front end and bent the rear clip. The team immediately knew they couldn't fix it. Instead, they turned to their backup car. Problem was, that car was set up for the next race in Nashville. It wasn't tuned for Charlotte's high-speed 1.5-mile oval. Worse, the clock was ticking. There were less than 24 hours before the green flag. Even worse, the backup car hadn't turned a single lap all week. It was untouched, untested, and unready. Some crew members questioned whether it could even survive 600 miles. But that doubt only fueled the fire. The challenge was massive, but the will to overcome it was even greater. A team-wide miracle in the dead of night. Back at the Trackhouse Racing shop in Concord, North Carolina, the garage lights stayed on all night. Dozens of crew members from across the Trackhouse organization, some off-duty, some not even assigned to Chastain's team, pitched in. They stripped the Nashville backup down to the chassis. They swapped engines, changed suspension geometry, reapplied the Charlotte paint scheme. Every detail had to be perfect, and they had just hours to get it done. Even marketing team members jumped in to help with decals and paintwork. Engineers ran late simulations, hoping to give Chastain even the slightest edge. What they created in that sleepless night wasn't just a race car. It was a symbol of everything track horse racing stands for. By 2:30 a.m., the car was complete. A few mechanics caught some sleep in their trucks. By 6:30 a.m., they were loading it into the hauler. And by race time, Chastain was ready to go, starting 40th with nothing to lose. Ross Chastain's team, Trackhouse Racing, prepared a backup car for the Coca-Cola 600 after his original car was damaged in a crash. The team worked on the car throughout the night, making changes to the engine, transaxle, suspension, and interior. When Chastain rolled off pit road, he was dead last, 40th place. No one expected much. After all, this was NASCAR's longest and most grueling race, 600 miles over 4 stages. Just finishing would be a win. But Chastain had other ideas. Slowly, methodically, he climbed through the field. He stayed out of trouble. He saved his tires, and every chance he got, he gained positions. His pit crew nailed every stop. Strategy kept him in the mix. And by the final stage, he was lurking in the top 5. Radio chatter between Chastain and crew chief Phil Surgeon grew more intense as the laps wound down. They knew they had a shot. The car was handling beautifully, tire wear was minimal, and the pace was blistering. All signs pointed to a potential upset, but they had to play it perfectly. William Byron's domination until it wasn't. For most of the night, it looked like William Byron would cruise to victory. He led an astonishing 283 of 400 laps and swept the first 3 stages. His number, 24, Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, was flawless. But in the final 50 laps, Chastain made his move. With fresher tires and a car that came to life as the track cooled, he began chasing Byron down. Lap after lap, he closed the gap. It wasn't just raw speed, it was precise timing. Chastain used lap traffic to his advantage, picking the right moments to gain ground. Byron, who had dominated so convincingly, suddenly looked vulnerable, and the crowd knew it. Every fan in the stands could feel it building. With just 6 laps to go, he caught him. Then he passed him. Clean, no bump, no controversy, just raw speed and flawless execution. checkered flag, and watermelon smash. Chastain crossed the finish line 0.673 seconds ahead of Byron. The crowd erupted, his crew went wild, and on the front stretch, Chastain celebrated the only way he knows how, by smashing a watermelon to the ground in victory. The symbolism wasn't lost. The watermelon represented his roots. A reminder that a farm kid from Florida had just won NASCAR's crown jewel race. Trackhouse's biggest statement yet. This win wasn't just about Chastain, it was a defining moment for Trackhouse Racing. The team, co-owned by Justin Marks and Pitbull, has quickly become one of NASCAR's most exciting new forces. The Coca-Cola 600 win proved they can play with the big boys. They can build fast cars, overcome adversity, and beat legacy teams like Hendrick and Gibbs on the sport's biggest stages. And they did it with a car that wasn't even meant to be at the track. The Kyle Larson double goes bust. While Chastain was celebrating, Kyle Larson was reflecting on a brutal day. He attempted the rare feat of running both the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 in one day, known as the double. But weather delays pushed the Indy 500 start back. Larson didn't make it to Charlotte in time. Justin Allgaier started the number 5 car. Larson arrived mid-race, jumped in, and shortly after crashed out. He finished 37th. Kyle Larson experienced a challenging day attempting the double, which involves competing in both the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. He crashed out of the Indy 500 early on, effectively ending his chance at completing the feat. This marked his second attempt at the double, with the first one also being unsuccessful. It was a tough end to a bold attempt, and Larson hinted that he might not try it again. Other notable finishes and frustrations. Chase Briscoe had a strong night, finishing third. Brad Keselowski earned his first top 10 of the season. Michael McDowell logged his best ever result at Charlotte. On the flip side, Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. struggled. Both finished outside the top 15, and Tyler Reddick's promising night was ruined by a late race penalty. Chris Buescher also had a night to forget, dealing with a mechanical failure that dropped him laps down after showing early speed. And Joey Logano, who had high hopes for a top 5 run, got caught up in a multi-car wreck with just 30 laps to go. Chastain's redemption arc. This win meant more than just points. It ended an 18-race winless streak for Chastain. It silenced critics who questioned his aggression. And it reminded everyone that when he's on, he's one of the most dangerous drivers in the field. He now sits comfortably in the playoff picture. And with momentum on his side, don't be surprised if this isn't his only win of the year. A race for the ages. The 2025 Coca-Cola 600 delivered everything fans could want. Drama, dominance, comebacks, and chaos. But above all, it gave us a story we won't forget. Ross Chastain, the underdog with dirt on his boots and fire in his eyes, didn't just win a race. He proved that, with heart and hustle, anything is possible. And somewhere in Florida, you can bet a whole field of watermelons just felt a little bit prouder. If you thought this comeback was wild, just wait for what Chastain does next. Hit that like button if you love Underdog wins. Drop a comment on your favorite moment from the race, and don't forget to subscribe. Because in NASCAR, the next shocker is always just one lap away.